The city of Huntingburg is looking into a new ordinance for large vehicles, what they're considering, plus the Jasper Library Board continues its work towards a building committee for the Jasper Library, and Barb Modize and Craig Greilich are tonight's Meet the Candidates on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. The city of Huntingburg is now trying to solve problems with larger vehicles parked along crowded side streets. Last night, the council discussed a new ordinance that would handle the issue of parking for large vehicles such as box trucks and RVs on the side streets. The heart of the problem has been that several of the vehicles have been parked along side streets for long periods of time. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner says that has drawn the ire of residents.
There are a number of locations. Citizens have come forward and requested some assistance in this. There are some locations in town where a larger vehicle, box-type vehicles, industrial vehicles are parked on city streets and causing some vision problems when you get to an intersection where if you're at the intersection looking to proceed, your vision might be blocked by these vehicles.
If it were to be approved, the new ordinance would allow for temporary parking for loading and unloading purposes. However, it would crack down on how long an RV or box truck could be parked along the street. Fines would start at $25 for such violations. Spinner says addressing the issue is important going forward.
But again, the primary reason for this ordinance is a safety issue. As you're approaching intersections and looking to proceed, larger vehicles might be blocking your vision and causes that problem. So that's what we're trying to address.
Spinner says the ordinance will be looked at in detail coming up next month. Now, Huntingburg does have an ordinance in place to address semis and other vehicles of similar size and weight. The process towards a building committee for the Jasper Library continues. Last night marked the first round of interviews for building committee candidates. 5 candidates in all were interviewed last night. They included Brad Ward, Karen Gruey, and John Bell, among others. Each candidate was allotted 15 minutes to answer interview questions before the full board. Library Director Rita Douthit says the committee should be the lone part of the process.
It's just trying to develop a building committee and trying to get them to look, explore, make some recommendations, and then turn it all over to the board. The board has the ultimate final decision. So basically it's just the committee to give us some ideas and do some investigation and kind of poll and survey the community, find out what the community is, what they want, what do they need, in that direction.
4 other candidates for the committee are set to be interviewed in a second special meeting. That meeting is set for 8 p.m. on Monday, and thus no candidates have been appointed as of yet. No decision was made last night on how many of those interviewed will be chosen for the committee. The committee will be comprised of 2 library board members and 2 library staff members. The board is set to decide whether to have 3 or 5 people from the public on the board once the interviews conclude on Monday. Now, last night's special meeting also involved discussions about plans for the committee. Once it is formed, the committee will likely be asked to come up with 3 to 5 options for the future of the Jasper Library. The committee would also meet at least twice per month and could have a 3rd monthly meeting if need be. The board is currently looking at a 3 to 6 month time frame for the committee to get its work done. The current plan calls for a referendum to be done on the library issue during the November 2015 election. Thus, the board is currently looking to have a plan in place by April of next year. The other of 2 men recently arrested in connection with a Washington teen's death has asked for his bond to be reduced. Donald Cruckton appeared in court yesterday with no legal counsel representing him. Cruckton stated he asked for the bond reduction so that he would be able to check on his family prior to the start of his trial. Judge Dean Sobecki told Cruckton that he would not release Cruckton on his own recognizance due to the severity of the crime. However, Sobecki did take the request under advisement. Sobecki also appointed Tanya Hosford as legal counsel for Cruckton. That appointment will be in place until he can get his own legal counsel. Finally this evening, a project aimed at creating a new gateway for I-69 traffic at Washington is now underway. The project will add a new connecting road that will run between Business Route 50 and the US 50 bypass. A roundabout intersection is also set to be part of the plans, and this will be the first roundabout in Daviess County. The total cost of the project, $3 million. Project manager Jeff Whitaker, who represents Bernard and Lockmiller & Associates, says utility relocation work has already begun in the area. He says they hope to begin major work coming up next month. The project has been contracted to Blankenberger Brothers Incorporated, and they are responsible for building the first connecting road. A small temporary road will be laid down nearby for traffic to run on while construction on the roundabout is going on. The roundabout is expected to be complete in about 45 days. Officials say roundabouts have proven to be safer than standard intersections with stop signs or traffic signals. They say although there are about the same number of accidents, those that happen in a roundabout intersection tend to be less serious. The roundabout lanes are set to be 18 feet wide to allow large vehicles like semis and buses to go through them. A concrete apron will also be put in to keep wheels on the pavement. To help folks get used to the new roundabout, a community awareness event will be held on October 4th, where written information will be passed out. The project is being funded courtesy of city, county, and federal highway funds, as well as economic development funding. The road is set to be open to traffic by the end of this year, although the contract runs through July of next year, which is to allow for seeding and sodding on ditches and nearby land. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform with Barb Modice and Craig Greilich. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.